Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here and address you. I had a very successful session this year. I introduced 29 bills and I passed 9 of them, which became law, signed by the governor. But my best bill is the bill we've been talking about, the tax bill. I was the sponsor of the tax bill, and with the help of Speaker Egoff and our caucus, we worked that bill, having interaction with all the stakeholders and keeping everybody happy. And you know, to pass a tax bill is kind of difficult, and I'm going to address it a little more. But I want to tell you that that was my #1 bill. I also passed an insurance premium tax provision bill, which was kind of more of a cleanup bill. I also passed a bill for a tax deduction for non-resident beneficiaries, which I think will help create more trusts in New Mexico. The law is going to make it attractive for people to locate their trusts in New Mexico. So we'll have more revenue, more sales tax, more work for attorneys. I think it's a very good bill. I also passed the bill that increases the state participation into ERB, the Educational Retirement Board, and also to the PRA, which are bills that's money that's going to work towards the solvency of the plan. You know, we've always kind of been short, so it's the state is now going to pay 1/4% more. It started out as half, but it was settled with and negotiated with the Senate to make it 1/4%. So that's going to help our retirement funds, which have been criticized by bonding companies that fund them. I also, of course, carried which is pretty standard procedure, the capital outlay authorization bill. I also carried one that I'm very proud of, a bill that was signed by the governor that makes Los Luceros in northern New Mexico a historic site. So we can build it up, help the north, create more attractive places for people to visit. And of course I carried, or sponsored in the House, the capital outlay bill where the $9 million for the airport was. And it was, I had a lot of help though from our speaker. But on the tax bill, you know, it's a change in tax policy. And it really took about 90% of my time through the session. By the time I spoke with people and stakeholders and put things on and took things off and just negotiated the bill all the way. But basically what that does is it makes, in my opinion, our tax system more fair. Some changes this year are due to the federal tax changes, and you're not going to see the effects of House Bill 6 this year because it doesn't go into effect till July. But next year, you'll see the difference, and you're going to compare it. I'm sure that you're going to see this year that you're going to have to pay a little more tax, federal tax, because of the tax reform kind of favors the people that make more money. If you get the same refund, probably somewhere along the line, you're not going to get the full benefit of tax reform. But anyway, for next year, we're going to have a deduction for dependent children of $4 million for each dependent. So I think the way I see it is going to save about the taxpayers of New Mexico about $28 million. And these are the working families. Also, it has the earned income tax credit. We started out by giving, okay, a few more minutes. By giving, well, I got distracted. By giving them a 17% deduction instead of a 10% deduction, I can tell you that is a tax credit that really works. It's for working families, and that takes people out of aid and help from the state and the federal government. And of course, my bill carries a taxing internet sales, which was, as you know, very unfair to our local businesses. It also has an increase for tobacco sales, a small one. It fully taxed vaping sales, which is the vapor cigarettes that hadn't been taxed. So it's going to create more revenues, and yeah, I wish I could speak all night on it, but if you have any question, I'll be glad to answer. Thank you.